And we are live on YouTube and Facebook, and therefore, Michael Durkin, I say we take it away in 3, 2, 1. You are on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, Synergy Theater and Freestyle Repertory Theater present Right Away. It's a show, it's a jam, it's the best of both worlds, and it's happening right now. Please welcome your host for this evening. I'm Ken Adams, and this is Michael Durkin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Right Away. I am Mike Durkin, and that is, as we well know, that's Ken Adams. Tonight's show is Right Away. It's a Zoom-style reimagining of a show that Freestyle developed with many of the people you're going to see on screen tonight back in the 90s when we were working together in person, and we'll work together in person again. This is the first co-production between Freestyle, that's our company, and Synergy Theater, which is Ken's company. Freestyle's here in New York, been around for many, many years. We work primarily in arts and education, but of course at this point in time there's no arts in education, there's no kids in education, they're all at home. And so that's why we developed a series of videotapes called Home Fooling, which kind of shows people, youngsters as well as oldsters, how the tricks of improvisation and some fun things to do. And it might be valuable to you with this time coming up with vacation, with kids at home and everything. So check out homefooling.com and you'll see these videotapes. And a thousand things are happening out at Synergy Theater. Ken?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm the artistic director of Synergy Theater. We are based out in California, but now we have moved everything online. We perform full-length improvised plays on Thursdays at 6 o'clock California time, Fridays at 7 o'clock California time. And we offer a full slate of classes through our online School of Improvisation. So if you want to learn more about that, you can go to synergytheater.com and find out all about us.
California has their own time, by the way. No other state has the time of California. Now here's how Right Away is going to work tonight. We've got 6 playwrights. They're going to have 45 minutes to write some brand spanking new plays based on suggestions from you, the audience. And well, Kim?
And while they're off writing, everyone in the audience, that is you, is invited to play some improv writing games with Michael and me. I think you'll want to use paper and a pen or pencil rather than your keyboard. And after 45 minutes of writing, the playwrights will return and present the world premiere reading of their new work.
Now, before we introduce tonight's playwrights, there's a couple of housekeeping things we have to go over. For those of you who are participating on Zoom, we ask that you keep your microphones muted and your video off for now. There'll be times when we ask you to unmute yourself and bring your video back on, but do know that this is being streamed live on YouTube and on Facebook, so that when your video and when your audio is on, you can be seen by and heard by everyone in the world. And this is our warning to those who are in the witness protection program. Also, may we suggest for the very best viewing, you go and hide non-video participants. And here's how you do that. You go down to the lower left-hand corner where that camera is, and right next to that camera there's a caret. And click on that caret, and it'll bring up a menu, and there'll be some settings that you can go to at that point. Hey, Vincent, how you doing? You go to that menu, and you might have to click on settings, and it'll bring up another menu of boxes that have one of them will be hide non-video participants, and that'll be the best things for you to do. And lastly, open the chat feature right there on the bottom of your screen, because that's how you're going to be able to inspire our playwrights with your suggestions. And our playwrights are something special tonight, aren't they, Ken?
Absolutely. And speaking of that, Let's meet them right now. Our first playwright is Heather Adams. Let's bring Heather Adams on screen. Heather Adams is a junior at American University studying musical theater. She is an aspiring playwright and the founder of AU Quills and Capes, a student theater group designed to be the home for student-written theater at American University. Heather, how are you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling great. Glad to be here.
All right, good luck to you. Why don't you go backstage into our writer's den? Mike Durkin will introduce the next playwright.
Well, the next playwright is Kat Coppett, a former member of the company here in New York City, but she's up in Albany now, and she is running MOPCO, which is just a wonderful improvisational theater company that covers Albany and Schenectady and Troy. Am I right?
You are. Very
Not
good.
bad for my geography. How are you feeling tonight, Kat?
I am so excited to be here.
All right, well, Kat, we're excited to have you. We're going to go on and introduce our next playwright.
All right, let's bring Lisa out, and it is a pleasure to introduce Lisa, someone I get to work with in the real world as well as online. And Lisa Gay Thompson honed her improv chops studying with me at Synergy Theater. She's a playwright with Monday Night Playground in the Bay Area. Her short play, Strike Home, received a staged reading at Berkeley Rep in February, and she's a kind, cool human being. Thank you so much for being here, Lisa. Lisa, do you have some type of good luck charm that you keep with you when you do these right-away performances?
Yes, actually, it's a pencil. Beautiful
You just
pencil.
made that up, right?
You know what? It has a double sharpener. It's so special.
All right.
Sharpen the wood and then the lead.
Well, I'm sure it'll work for you tonight. Why don't you go back into our virtual writer's den, and Mike Durkin, take it away.
Laura Livingston is our next playwright. She is the artistic director of Freestyle Repertory Theater in New York City. She is also she's the one who's kind of moving this project ahead, our Right Away project. Laura, good to have you here tonight.
Thanks, Mike. Good to be here.
Well, where else would you be? You're at home with me. Oh, God, cut it out. I'll pop my head in. All right, I'm sorry, Ken. Go ahead.
All right, Laura, if you kindly go backstage into our virtual writer's den, we're going to bring out our next playwright. Our next playwright is returning, and it's Arlene Hutton. Let's bring Arlene out here. Arlene Hutton is best known for her plays Last Train to, is it pronounced Nibrock?
Brock.
Nibrock, thank you. Last Train to Nibrock and Letters to Sala. Her plays have been produced regionally, off and off Broadway, at the Edinburgh Festival Fringe, and at theaters across the US and London and throughout the world. An alum of New Dramatists and member of the Ensemble Studio Theater and New Circle Theater Company, she is a 3-time winner of the Samuel French Short Play Festival and teaches playwriting at the Barrow Group. And it is a thrill and an honor to welcome my old friend, Arlene Hutton, back to Right Away. Thank you for being here, Arlene.
Thanks, Ken.
You are welcome. Break a leg tonight.
And Rich Perez, how do you like following that intro, huh?
Yeah, hey, just why even
Rich
show up?
Perez, a former member of the company here in New York City and now a professor of theater out in Michigan, and also a director, an actor, written some plays. And what else have you done out there, Richard?
Shovel a lot of snow and, spend a lot of time indoors these days.
Go Michigan. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Good to have you here, though. It's real
Good to
good
be
to
here.
have you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, let's get all of our, should we get all of our playwrights back on the screen here?
Yes, we shall.
And audience, what I ask you now, go down there where the chat button is and turn that chat button on, because each playwright is going to ask you for suggestions now, or a suggestion to kind of inspire, to kind of kick off their play. So, Ken, let's get that thing going, right?
All right, why don't we just go in the order in which we introduced ourselves? So, Heather, you were first, weren't you?
Yeah. All right. Can I have a musical instrument?
All right, get those chat buttons going.
Oh, here we go. I see how we do.
All right, the first one I see is trumpet, so I'll take that one.
All right.
Oh, I see it.
All right, and Kat Coppett, you want to go ahead and ask for a suggestion?
Yes, can I have an object and an emotion, please?
An object and an emotion. Go ahead and just type that right into your chat window.
I saw sad table first.
Excellent.
I'm writing on one of those.
But I have to say, I love stationary bike fear.
All right, I think I am not going in order of introductions anymore, but that's okay. Lisa Thompson, will you please ask for a suggestion from the audience?
I wanted to get something that falls and an unrelated something that rises.
Something that falls and an unrelated something that rises. That was fast. You people are
Look at
fast
that.
out there.
That's
Oh
a
my
good-
goodness.
Oh,
I was still trying to figure out what she was.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Lisa.
Okay, I saw rain and temperature.
All right,
Excellent.
rain and temperature. Richard Perez, will you please get a suggestion from the audience?
Sure. How about something someone might say on a first date?
Everybody, please type something someone might say on a first date.
Remember that moment, everybody?
oh, I have regret.
Ooh, nice pants, I saw.
This was a mistake. I'm a little nervous.
All right, Laura, you didn't ask for one yet, did you?
All right. I'm so busy laughing at these. I bring myself back to work here. I would like to get some kind of verbal character trait or characteristic. It could be something someone does while they're speaking, or a phrase. Oh, wow, you're already doing it. A phrase. Okay, stop. I gotta pick one of these. All right. I've got run. Wait a second. Stop. This is so.
You're so good.
You can scroll back if you missed him.
I did. I missed them all. Okay. I got throat clearing, and I will also take booyah.
All right. And Arlene Hutton, will you please ask the audience for a suggestion?
What is a name that you called your grandparent?
A name that you called your grandparent. Wow,
That's a
that was
good
so
one.
fast.
Yeah.
Yia? Is that what that is? Yia.
Yeah.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Yaya.
You know, I'm gonna go with Nana.
All right, great.
All
That's
right.
great.
Mike, are you going to take it away?
I will take it away right now, and what I will say, I want to close my. This is last time I did this. I closed the chat by leaving the meeting, and I don't want to do that. All right. In a few moments, everybody, we're going to ask. We're going to send the writers away. They're going to have 45 minutes. And I want to tell the writers to keep your eye out for texts. We'll be messaging you some texts as we go along. And to you and to everybody else that with us tonight, whatever you write is great. So go with whatever you write. So it's time for you to set you guys loose. So here we go.
All right.
On your masks.
Now,
Get
first, we're
set.
going to give everyone a chance to review their suggestions, before we send
I'm
them
sorry.
off.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Of course. So let's review the suggestions. Heather,
I got a trumpet.
Kat,
Got a sad table. I'm also going to take orange jealousy.
taking what? Orange jealousy?
Orange and jealousy.
Okay. Lisa?
Rain and temperature.
All right. Rich?
I got the line, ooh, nice pants.
Laura, what are you taking?
Throat clearing and booyah.
And Arlene?
Nana.
Nana. All right. All right, you guys. Have a grand old time. On your masks. Get set right away. Have a grand time. Have a grand
All
time.
right. So our writers are off writing, hopefully tuning us out. And at this time, we're going to ask everybody in our writer's jam, that's you, that's the audience, now to please come back on screen and you can turn your mic on now, unless there's a lot of background noise, then go ahead and leave that off for now. You can just turn it on when we read. Hello, everybody. It is so awesome to have you here. Hello, Kim. Welcome. One thing that perhaps we didn't mention is that every 10 minutes or so, we are going to get a suggestion from you that we're going to feed back to our writers in their writing den, and all of them will have to immediately incorporate the suggestion that we give them into their play. So we'll have some fun when we are hearing the readings of the plays as all of them utilize the suggestions. So we'll keep an eye on the clock. They just started. They've only been writing for a couple of seconds. And now it is time for us to start with our writing jam. So this is going to utilize the 3 rules of improvisation. Be spontaneous, make your partner look good, and build on your partner's ideas. And when we write, you are your own partner. So you're going to be spontaneous, make yourself look good, and build on your own ideas. When we talk about being spontaneous, we talk about just saying the very first thing that pops into your mind without judging it or editing it or criticizing it. And since we are going to be turning these into writing exercises, rather than say them out loud, you're just going to write them down. So we'll do some writing and then we'll do some reading and sharing. I'm going to kick it off with the first exercise. It's probably best to do this with a paper, with an old-fashioned paper and pencil, or a pen, rather than on your keyboard. So if you have one of those, go ahead and be ready to use that. And if you are typing, thank you, Taj. If you are typing, please go ahead and put your microphone on mute, and that way we won't hear the clicking of your thing. All right, let's get started. We are going to start off with an exercise called Finish My Sentences. Here's how it works. I'm going to say a sentence, but I'm going to stop before I finish it. As soon as I stop writing, you write down the end of my sentence. It could be 1 word, 2 words, 4 words, as simple as that. Then we'll come right back and we'll read some of these out loud. I'll repeat my sentence and you'll do the finish. So here we go. Number 1. She looked out the window and she saw a great big... All right, how easy was that? Now we're just gonna read a few of those out. So raise your hand if you'd like me to, read out what you wrote down. You can go ahead and turn your microphone on. All right, David, here we go. She looked out the window and she saw a great big
bear glaring at her.
bear. Oh, I'm sorry, David, please do the whole thing.
Bear glaring at her.
Bear glaring at her. Excellent. It is that easy. Taj, she looked out the window and she saw a great big
Dancing elephant.
Kim, she looked out the window and she saw a great big
mountain shuffling across the city.
Yvonne, she looked out the window and she saw a great big
Fat milkman, a new one she'd never seen before.
hello, Leonie. Welcome, Leonie. She looked out the window and she saw a great big
dog peeing on her flowers.
Excellent job. All right, let's move. Oh, Terry, please go ahead.
A golf cart lit up with Christmas lights.
Beautiful job. All right, we're going to do one more round of this, and this time I'm going to read 3 sentences, so it'll make a little bit of a story. I'll start a sentence, you finish it. I'll start a sentence, you finish it. I'll start a sentence, you finish it, and then we'll read out all 3 of these. So just write your answers. You don't have to write my sentences. Here we go. When she woke up, she heard she was nervous because... So immediately she...
Love the sound.
Beautiful job. What could be easier? All right. Somebody raise your hand. Let me know who's going to read these out. There we go. Karen, thank you. When she woke up, she heard a...
giggling sound.
She was nervous because...
she had to pee.
And finally, she...
stayed in bed.
Beautiful job. So, all right. Ma, am I pronouncing your name correct? Is it Ma? Awesome. Thank you for being here. Go ahead and turn your microphone on so that we can hear you. All right. When she woke up, she heard a...
bang of yelling.
She was nervous because...
she had a date with the pimple.
And finally, she
Jumped out the window.
awesome job. How about one or
That's
two
what I
more?
do.
All right. Teresa, Michael, you trying to get in with something?
No. That's exactly what I do when I get a pimple.
Teresa Williams. All right. When she woke up, she heard a.
Dog barking in the distance.
She was nervous because.
She didn't know where her dog was.
Finally, she.
Jumped out of bed and ran out the door.
Beautiful job. You're all doing an amazing job. All right, I saw one or two more. Taj Baker and then Hillary, and then we'll move on. Taj, Hillary, and then Celia, and then we'll move on. All right. Taj, when she woke up, she heard a.
Anne screaming for her.
She was nervous because.
It was the day of her national debut.
And finally, she.
Sang opera.
Excellent job. Hillary, when she woke up, she heard a.
Scream from the other room.
She was nervous because.
There wasn't supposed to be anyone else in the house.
Finally, she.
Grabbed a baseball bat.
All right, last one, Celia. When she woke up, she heard a.
Boom.
She was nervous because.
She was naked.
And finally, she.
Grabbed a robe.
Awesome job. It's fun to clap on Zoom like this, so everybody give yourselves a round of applause for that first exercise. Very, very beautiful work. All right, Michael Durkin, I think I turn it over to you.
Yeah. Well, this is another one. It's just very quick. This is just to get those synapses clicking. And once again, whatever you write is just great. I'm going to say a word. You write a word the first thing that comes to your mind. Doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to follow. Whatever. I'm going to say a word. You write a word. My first word is triumph. My second word is underground. My third word is secret. My fourth word is posing. And lastly, game. And so, anybody want to read their responses to those 5 words? Go ahead, Ma. I'll say the first word. I'll say the word I said, and then you just say the word that you wrote down. My first word was triumph.
I said pole.
Underground.
Camel.
I don't know how many camels I've seen underground. Secret.
Tell.
Posing.
Yodel.
Game.
Grit.
I love it. Exactly right. You did it exactly right. Anybody else want to read out their words? Yeah, go ahead. Is that David? Go ahead.
Victory.
Yeah, I say, what did I say? I said triumph.
Triumph, victory.
Underground.
Tube.
Secret.
Danger.
Posing.
Baker.
Game.
Foul.
Right. Is that Ty? Who else? Anybody else want to read their words down there? Look, go ahead, Terry. Good for you. Good. What's that? Here we go. Triumph.
Motorcycle.
Underground.
Underwear.
Secret.
Santa.
Posing.
Seductively.
Game.
Monopoly.
Excellent. We're close to it's time, I think, to send something out to those out to our people. What do you think, Ken?
Yeah, it almost is. How about this? We'll get a suggestion, and then as I text it back to them, you can continue to have some folks read out. I think I saw a few more hands that were interested in reading, and then by the time that's done, we'll be ready to move on. Okay? So, Michael, do you have?
I do. Okay. I have a suggestion. Here's what I would like to send the writers. I would like to send the writers this. A character utters a one-word exclamation. What is that one-word? And this is in your chat. If you put your chat on, what is that one-word exclamation that they send in, or that they utter? What are these? You guys are great. You guys are just great. I'm going to go with erosion. I just kind of...
Bless you.
let's go with erosion. All right?
All right, I'm sending it back right now.
All right. We have those crazy 5 words.
Should be putting the word erosion and one line of dialogue erosion in their script right now. All right, back to the book.
Yeah, anybody else want to read those 5 words that? Wait a second, I got my chat right in the middle of somebody's face, and that person is Karen. Karen, here we go. You ready?
I'm ready.
Triumph.
The comic dog.
You know what I have to do? I have to find those words that I wrote. Triumph. Underground.
Underwear.
Hey, how about that? See, that's how we all think alike. You know, it's wonderful. Secret.
Sound.
Posing.
Nude.
Game.
Day.
Right. Any other hands raised there? That Leonie.
Did you send a suggestion?
We did just send a suggestion.
I'm not getting it.
Livingston is not getting the suggestions.
Tell me what it was.
A character says erosion.
Okay.
Leonie.
Yeah.
Here we go. Triumph.
Car.
Underground.
Railroad.
Secret.
Agent.
Would you sing that though? Posing.
Indeed.
And game.
Over.
All right. Another hand was raised. I thought I saw. Yeah. Yvonne, here we go. Yvonne, here's the first word. Triumph.
Downstairs.
Underground.
Jazz room.
Secret.
Floyd.
Posing.
Kitty. On.
Game on. All right. Ken, do you want to move on? Should we do another one?
All right, so we're going to squeeze 2 things into this next little block before we give them another suggestion. The first one is just one more spontaneous stream of consciousness writing exercise. So this time we'll give you a chance to write uninterrupted for a while. I'm just going to say one word, one single word. When I say that word, I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and your job is to free associate for 60 seconds, continuous writing, no stopping, don't take your pen off the paper, no correcting, nothing like that. Just allow the stream of consciousness, your subconsciousness, to flow out unfettered for 60 seconds. Whatever comes out is perfectly right. Here we go. The word is vampire.
What?
Empire.
Fifteen more seconds, write faster. All right, and that's time. Excellent job. Somebody please read out your 60-second stream of consciousness story inspired by vampire Yvonne Conybeare. Thank you. Ready and go.
Vampire Moses turned to his people, holding up the tablets of doom. Gadzooks, said little Muffy. I don't like the dark. Mom, tell me it's not true.
Awesome job. Who's next? Karen, thank you.
Vampire, she said. And I said, no, I don't like anything scary. Vampires are scary. Vampire, she said again. And I said, no, I don't like anything. And she said, I know what you're going to say. And I said, boo.
Awesome job. Thank you. Who's next? Celia. Let's go. Celia, Taj, and then Vincent. Celia, Taj, and then Vincent. Ready and go.
When you suck your teeth in me, I'm going to scream. And when I do, everyone around me will hear you. Come running, save me, and kill you. Is my blood worth that?
Thank you. Taj.
Vampire means the end of me because I am so succulent, and I know they are closing in, but I am ready for the passionate bite. The end is near, and I welcome the darkness. They live forever, but they are not alive. They are surrounding the house, and I am not afraid. Well, maybe a bit. I knew they would be here today of all days, Halloween.
Wow, beautiful. That was awesome.
Succulent is one of my favorite words.
Vincent.
Vampire came to the door and asked to come in. I told him I was running late for a date and had no time. He said he'd wait. Good thing it was a Zoom date.
All right, who else is up? Who else would like to read their 60-second
story? Susan, put your mic on.
Susan, and then we'll move on right after this.
Vampire is the fashion today since it's winter and a cloak keeps you warm and can be used as a mask. Bloody, well, nice color against the snow.
Awesome job. All right. I'm going to turn it over to Michael for our next thing. Michael, we're 3 minutes away from the next suggestion. Do you think you can, in 3 minutes, we'll have to take a pause wherever we are.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to do, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you a 5-line story, but I'm going to tell it to you in gibberish. And what I'd like, and I'll wait after each line for you to write what you think, or what you think I said, or how you translate what I've just said. So I wonder do you think we should kind of jump ahead and give them this suggestion, or should we go ahead with this exercise?
Well, let's do the exercise, and if we go past the time a little bit, that's fine.
All right, 5 lines. It's a story. It's in gibberish, but you write what you think I just said. Here we go. Ik bara snor alla sandara I quasalatur. Aprus croshan and rapta son rapnan leka tuarda. Kreseton! Rasisite mogorn! Kesto! Shidukana murma! Mas lustige is een kram lapart.
Oh, bravo.
Oh, please.
All right. Now,
It's a story we always tell around Christmas.
But before we go and start reading some of these loud, we're perfect timing for the next suggestion. Michael, I have a feeling Laura Livingston is not going to be getting these texts. So can you just deliver suggestions to her?
I can do this.
Yeah,
I can
all
do
right.
this.
So, because I'm not sure why, but I'm afraid we'll keep handling that. So, this time, how about? Oh, did you have another?
I do.
Go ahead.
And it's a very simple kind of suggestion. What's going to happen at this point in every one of their plays is an exotic animal appears. What animal is that appears? Let's see if I get my chat here. These are great. I'm going to grab one. I'm going to grab ostrich. Ostrich. All right. And I'm going to go deliver that, Ken.
Yeah.
What is it?
Ostrich appears.
Okay.
There she was. She got it. Well, what we
All
can.
right.
Yeah.
Now I'd love to hear some of those stories, Michael.
Right. Raise those hands. Let's see who has got stories that they'd like to. Kim, we haven't heard yet from you. I think you. So, what is the story that I just told? You ready? Go for it, buddy.
Gather around, children. The cold approaches, and we must stay together. Those alone will be devoured and taken far away. Look, Greta stepped outside, and now she is lost. Oh, grief, grief. Her cries grow ever fainter. The fire keeps us safe, keeps us warm.
That's exactly the story I told. That is exactly word for word, Kim. Good God. Who else would like to give a shot at this? Terry, go ahead. Give it a shot.
Why not? This is what I heard. You have such a musical voice. This is what I heard. Okay. It was an extraordinary and unusual sight. All the women came out of their huts. Goodness me, oh my! It's falling from the sky. Thank you, gods and goddesses, for these lovely cheeses. It will go well with yesterday's crackers.
I'm sorry, Kim. Kim, that was the story I told.
Just muted me.
I'm sorry. That's exactly the word. I'm sure that was the one I told, especially the cheese part. Now, Beth, did you want to read yours? Beth?
I can search the web.
Okay.
I just muted you.
Okay. I love all little puppies. I take their shedded hair from the floor. I can't believe a Chihuahua deposits this much fur. I know I should have gotten a fish. Allergies are a time suck.
Once again, Kim, Terry, I'm sorry. I really, Beth. Right, word for word. Honest to God, even the thing about the fish was the part. Hillary, you up for it?
Sure. Okay.
Go ahead.
It was a dark and stormy night. A car drove up the road, its high beams on. Suddenly it swerved. There was a woman in the road. It was the ghost that haunted her night after night. Margaret pulled over. Enough was enough.
Enough was enough. Exactly what I said. Enough was enough. I'm sorry, guys. That was the one. No, that was the one. Taj, Taj, go ahead.
It was creeping along in the sewer, hiding in the shadows. Suddenly it was bathed in a bright, harsh light, and it cowered, terrified. Get it! The creature is there! Mercy, mercy, mercy. I am a mother. Jesus, the twisted thing is breeding.
That's it. The breathing part is this. That was the one. That was the part that I wanted to get across to everybody. So whoever didn't get that. Anybody else want to read their stories? Teresa, we haven't heard from you.
Hey, you are not the one for me. You will find someone right under your nose. Wait, no! I must introduce you to Questo. She is my mama. She is a great fortune teller.
What wonderful stories, you guys. I'm going to back off for just a bit because I've been kind of fooling around and saying everybody got this story. These are much better stories than I told. Yeah, my story was something about grabbing a pail and going down to the store, and I don't know what the hell I was talking about. So you guys are doing a much better job. Anybody? We got.
I'm going Yvonne and Susan.
Okay, go for it. Yvonne, why don't you go for it?
As Alessandra dressed in high couture, her agent wrapped her head wrap and said, "You take that runway by storm." "More, more," yelled the fashionistas. After her walk, she gushed, "Johnny, you did it. I'm a 6th Avenue star." "Now," said Johnny, "you're headed for Paris."
Beautiful job.
They're getting better and better all the time. How are we doing, Ken? Have we got time
Yeah,
for
we're
more?
good. We're good.
All right, good then. Karen, have you read yours? Do yours, Karen.
Mike, we're going to let Susan get in there and then Karen right after her.
By all means, by all means. Susan, go first.
That's how it happened, though you may not believe it. There was a tiny egg that hatched under the refrigerator. And then out came a smiling dinosaur that expanded up like a balloon. "Please save me. My pot is too small." I grabbed a knife and cut off a little section before it went flat again.
Now, I just have to say, Susan, that did happen to me here. We have a problem with that in the apartment here, but exactly right. Karen, let's hear your story.
This will be the last one, and then we'll move on.
Okay, all right.
I want to see you in your yellow bathing suit. Not the lemon yellow one, the sunshine yellow one. What are you doing? That's the red one. I hate the red one. Oh, no. Now the blue and the purple too. Forget it. Let's just go skinny dipping.
Awesome job. Give yourself a round of applause. That was amazing.
Beautiful job, you guys. Beautiful job. Job. Great fun.
Move on to the next activity here.
Got
And
it.
this is a right away, first time experiment here. And it's a pretty big risk, but I'm okay with that because it's a much bigger risk for Michael Durkin than it is for anybody else. So I think we'll be okay. And this is the picture book. We are all going to write a picture book. And here's how it's going to work. First of all, we need a title for a picture book that probably would never really get produced. So published. Go ahead and put that in chat. If you have an idea, the title of a picture book that probably would never really get published. And we'll let a few of those go up in chat. All right, we're going to take that first one. This is the children's picture book, Vengeance is Mine. Vengeance is Mine. And here's how this is going to work. Everybody, go ahead and write that title on your paper, Vengeance is Mine. There's going to be 3 pages in the book and a picture on each page. Michael Durkin is going to make the picture. So the way, and your text is going to be inspired by his picture. So when I say ready, set, go, then Michael Durkin will create a tableau and you will create the short line of text underneath that as if it's a picture in a picture book. There are going to be 3, right? So beginning, middle, end, page 1, page 2, and page 3. And you have to end the story by the time you get to page 3. So here we go. Vengeance is Mine, page 1. Now write the first line of text underneath that picture. Here we go. Page 2. And the last page. The end. All right, everybody end with the end. Awesome job. Now, Michael, I hope you remember those poses because we're going to have to recreate them several times.
All right, I'll do my best.
Before we start reading these out, though, we are just we're about a minute away from our next suggestion. So why don't we prepare it now, and then I'll send it, and then we can read some of these out, all right?
Okay.
So, Michael, did you have another fun thing to ask for?
Well, I do have another thing. I have another thing, and that thing is, at this moment in their writing, an unusual aroma permeates the air. So give me those chat buttons. And Ken, do you want me to pick one?
Yeah. How about burnt marshmallows? That's a fun one. Burnt marshmallows.
Marshmallows.
Will you
All
please
right.
tell Laura?
Yeah, I'm going to go over just to quickly put that in Laura's. Hold on.
All right, I'm just giving them the suggestion on text.
Permeates the air. All right.
The scent of burnt marshmallows permeates the air. All right.
The face is back.
Our writers have 15 minutes left to complete their plays. And now let's hear some stories. So when it's your turn, start by the title. And then as the reader, you please say page 1, and then Michael will make the face, and then you read the text. Then say page 2, and Michael will read the tab, blah, 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 blah. All right, who's game? Who's ready to give it a shot? All right, Taj Baker, take it away.
Vengeance is mine, page 1. I was utterly shocked that he showed his face. Page 2. I never want to see you again. You ate my puppy. Page 3. His premature end was his own fault.
Excellent job. All right, who's next? Celia, and then Teddy after that.
Okay. Vengeance is mine. Page 1. Holy moly, he's dead. Page 2.
Which I have forgotten. Page 2.
It's like this.
I will avenge his death. Page 3. Oh, fuck it, he's dead anyway. The end.
You know, there is a picture book out there called Go the Fuck to Sleep. It's really very funny, actually. Okay, who's next? Who had a hand up? Teresa, go ahead, and then I'm sorry, I think I called on Teddy, didn't I?
That's all right. Teresa can go ahead and go. It's all fun and games. Let's enjoy it. Go ahead, Teresa.
Teresa, Teddy, and then Yvonne. Here we go.
All right. Vengeance is mine. The stone woke up from a deep sleep. Today is the day I take over the world. The stone fell asleep again. The end.
There's a problem with getting stoned.
All right, Teddy.
Vengeance is mine. Page 1. The idea of feasting on thine enemy's broken pride excites me. Page 2. I shall gain his confidence, and when he least expects it, unleash in the breaking of his soul. Page 3. The taste of revenge isn't as sweet as they say, and the guilt is tremendous. The end.
Excellent job. Yvonne Connie Bear, forgive me.
All right. Oh, goody. Now Tracy will pay. I won, said Tracy. The end.
All right. Who else wants to read? All right, let's go. Hillary and then David. Readers, if you could remember to say page 1, page 2 in order to cue Mike to make the poses. That will help him keep up with you. All right. Who did I say? Hillary, go ahead.
All right. Vengeance is mine. Page 1. You took the last pudding. Page 2. That was my pudding. Page 3. Oh, look, it expired in 2012. I guess that's your last pudding. The end.
We threw away a bottle of something that was expired in 1981. It's beside the point. Go ahead.
Who else would like to share theirs? Well, why don't we do, let's say all right, 3 more of these. We'll go David, Terry, and then Karen, and then we'll move on to your next piece, Michael. All right, here we go. David.
Okay, vengeance is mine. My, I did not see that coming. The Sandman cometh. Page 2. But wait, there was one more thing I need to do before our conflict. Page 3. I must take my nap before going to sleep, though I have insomnia.
All right.
I can't tell you how many times I take naps before I go to sleep.
We'll go Terry and then Karen. Terry.
Okay, vengeance is mine, page 1. Goodness me, oh my, he's so tall. Page 2. His finger was giant. Page 3. That exam just about killed me.
All right, last one, Karen.
Vengeance is mine. Page 1. Oh, Santa, what are you doing here? Page 2. And why are you pointing to the chimney? Page 3. You didn't like my cookies?
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Give yourselves a big round of applause. Michael Durkin, next time we'll do it as a pop-up book, and we'll have pull tabs, and you'll have to make movements. All right, we have 4 minutes before the next suggestion, so I think you can set everything up and get going on the next exercise, Mike.
All right. Should we get the next suggestion? Is that what you
Well,
said?
we still have 4 minutes.
Okay. Do you want to set up the next game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Want to move on to that?
Yeah, the next game is a game that normally we would do, in a class where we could stand up and move around and have a good old time, but we can still do it in this situation. It's called Shape, Face, Move, Talk. And what I'm going to do is the first thing I'm going to do is ask you for an emotion. So I guess right now the best thing to do is to just go into the chat screen there and grab a couple and just write in some emotions, and I'll grab one is what I'll do. Ooh, I love bravado. I'm going with bravado. Okay, bravado. So on your own, in your little room there, or your big room, wherever, I'm going to say these 3 words, and physically, if you can, take these things in, or demonstrate these things to yourself, and then write a short little monologue that this person might say. So it's bravado. So the first thing I want you to do with at least your upper torso, we're all sitting down, but from the hips up, take the shape of bravado, whatever that is for you. And then you can shape, now take that face of bravado, whatever that is for you. Move in a sort of bravado way, whatever that is, whatever that means for you. And now instead of talking, write for the next 30 seconds a monologue from this bravado person about how he thinks he is or she is. So 30 seconds, write, and keep that face, keep that physicality if you can, and write for 30 seconds. Dear bravado. Yes. I dare anybody. You've got 15 seconds left. That's if you're even listening to me. All right, finish up that bravado. Finish it up right now. Kim, do you want to throw one more suggestion in with them, or?
Yeah, our writers now have 6 minutes left. We'll give them the next suggestion in 1 minute, but if we can get it now, I'll get it all set. And then as I'm texting it to them, we can start listening to some of those monologues. So, Michael, do you have another thing that you'd like to ask for?
Yes, I do. At this moment, we need a line of dialogue. That's what we need. Right now, we need a line of dialogue. So I guess I just want you to write a line of dialogue that somebody will say. Oh, you guys are good. Ooh, I like this. I'm gonna go with "Oh, this popcorn is salty." All right, let's go with "Oh, this popcorn is salty," and kind of throw them off a little bit. Especially when there's they got to play about two cougars or something like that. And all this popcorn. So we had this bravado, this character who was bravado and decided to espouse something. Does anyone want to read their monologue of the bravado person? Kim, give it all your bravado you can, buddy.
A dragon. He is large in body, but I am large in dangerousness. Come at me, brother dragon.
Brilliant acting, Kim. Very nice. Who else has got bravado with them? Beth, you want to do a little bravado?
I will not let anyone know just how nauseous I am. These people at the state fair must never know their corn dogs are not gluten-free.
Hey, Michael, forgive me for interrupting, but you need to give Laura Livingston that last.
Okay, all right, we'll do that.
Oh, this popcorn is salty. All right, he'll be back in a moment, but I can handle this while he's not here. Somebody else, please read out your bravado monologue. Who wants to read out their bravado monologue? Teresa Williams.
I am powerful in this world. You cannot escape me. I will win this. You just need to scuttle away on your ragged claws in an ancient ocean.
And Celia?
I have to ask a question though before I read it. How adult can we be?
Anyone who doesn't want to hear her monologue, go like this now.
Okay. Okay, here we go. You walked in expecting me to cry because I saw you fucking another woman. I don't give a shit. You missed the point. You never caught me with the pool boy.
Sylvia, Teddy left because of that monologue. I thought I saw him run out of the room. I'm not sure, but I thought I saw. There goes Will. Will just left the room. People are freaking out, Sylvia.
Sorry.
I think that's what you were really saying in that gibberish story, wasn't it?
Anyone else? Who's got their bravado? Have we got any? Yvonne. Okay, Yvonne, give us a little bravado.
My son looked bedraggled. No worry, I said. I will save you. Loki said, oh no, aha. Here is your breakfast.
That's the way to start a day.
All right. Now, believe it or not, everybody, there is just 1 minute remaining for our writers to finish up their plays. And we like to end these writing jams with everybody kind of doing something all together. I have a suggestion, Michael, if you don't mind my calling an audible and just running with something, since we only have 1 minute left. And we didn't get to hear all of the bravado monologues, and I really would like to hear all of them. I'm going to give them a notification that they have 1 minute remaining. Then, for our last activity, everybody at the same time, in the biggest, loudest, most bravado voice possible, will read out your bravado monologue. So get your bravado voice ready. I'm going to give them their 1 minute. And Michael, if you wouldn't mind running in and telling Laura she has 1 minute left.
Will do.
And then when Michael Durkin comes back, we'll do this thing.
1 minute.
We always plan like 8 more activities than we have time to get through because the writing is so much fun and so many people are interested in sharing. All right, are we ready? Here we go. I'll count to 3, and then everybody make your bravado shape, make your bravado face, get your bravado voice, and shout out your bravado monologue. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I carry this cape and I practice in front of the mirror with my chihuahua antlers on his head. I'm ready for the bulls as they
I am the guy that knows only the best.
Everybody give yourself a huge round of
Very nice, very nice, very nice, very nice.
Amazing. Thank you all so much. All right, here's what happens now. Michael, if you tell Laura to please come back on screen, we're going to try to get all our writers back because their time is over. Come back, come back, come back, come back. And at this point, we'll ask all of our audience members to please turn off your microphones and turn off your cameras as we welcome our writers back to the screen here. Hello, everybody. We had a very, very awesome time, and I hope you folks had fun writing. All right. Michael, do you want to send everybody off into intermission, or shall I?
Send everybody off. Send everybody.
All right. Here's what we're going to do, my friends out there. We, Claire Marie, my friend, if you would kindly turn your video off and just leave the screen to the writers and the hosts at this moment. And here's what we're going to do. We are going to take a 10-minute intermission. During that 10 minutes, the writers are going to email their scripts to each other, and we are going to cast the plays amongst us so that in 10 minutes, when we come back, we will be able to do the world debut performances of these brand new plays. During the next 10 minutes, if you would like to go off and take a stretch break, get a drink, do something, and then come back, please do that. We will start sharply in 10 minutes. If you want to stay here and watch us act like a bunch of crazy people trying to get this stuff together, you are welcome to do that as well. Thank you for being here. We will be back with Act 2, the world debut of our plays, in 10 minutes. All right, my friends, let's start. If you can cast your plays and email them out to everybody.
Let's, should we go in order or something like Heather? Or just, we're just emailing, right?
Well, at the moment, why don't we just let people get some emailing done and then we can see who's in what.
I sent mine already.
Thank you.
Thread then?
I pity whoever reads mine. My formatting, I did not set it up. I mean, it's difficult.
Michael Durkin, that was well done.
Hey, yeah, it was a good first act, huh?
I think so.
I think I got Arlene's. Well, maybe I got everybody's.
I just have Rich's.
I copied everybody on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only one I have.
Oh, I see.
Sending now. Mine just went out.
Rich, did you? Okay, Ken is H, okay.
Well, mine is pretty rough. I gotta tell you.
Join the club.
All right.
Well, good. I want to be Star Baker this week.
I was scared this time, I'll tell
Use
you.
this email tonight. Okay, here I go.
Rich, Beth, Lisa, Beth and Rich.
I have Lisa's, I've got Kat.
I'm just very slow at everything. I'm trying to even find how to.
We have 7.5 minutes remaining.
All right, I've sent mine, but I didn't put anybody's name on it.
Do I have a moment to run to the restroom?
Yes, yes, you have 7 minutes.
Oh, me too.
Did we do the whole like who's doing which play, or we just have to look and see?
No, but Rich has to pee, so we can't.
Not Rich.
Oh, me, oh my.
Laura?
Yeah?
Laura Livingston, did you cast your play?
I did, but nobody knows because I didn't write it on there.
Oh, okay.
Clever, Laura, clever.
Mystery.
Plausible deniability.
It'll be good to know who's casting what, so I know which ones to open.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right. Yeah, we'll do that as soon as everybody's back at their table. We still have 6 minutes. We're doing really well.
I'm back.
Heather, who's in your play? Because I see something different.
Kat and Rich are in my play.
That's who said that?
Beth said that. Arlene said that.
Great. Heather, I see a different cast on
Yep.
your.
Sorry, it's the one in the email.
So let's, okay, so we know Arlene. Why don't we do Heather? Heather, who's in yours?
It's Lisa, Kat, and Laura. So not what's actually on the document. Sorry about that.
Which number are we?
Lisa is 1, Kat is 2, Laura is 3.
Okay.
Is it
Laura
called
Livingston?
Trumpet? Yeah, okay. 1 is Beth, 2 is Kat, and H is Rich. Told you it's rough.
Lisa Thompson?
Beth is Naya, and Rich plays Pete.
Is this Lisa's?
This is Lisa's, yeah.
Okay.
Kat, did you announce it yet?
No, Sarah is Laura, and Esther is Arlene or Beth.
Oh, who was that?
Kat.
Okay, thanks. And I'm Esther.
You're Esther.
Okay, thanks.
Richard?
Ken, you are H and Beth is S.
All right. Did I call everybody?
Hey, you know what? Can is it all right if I switch? Can H be Durkin since Rich is reading a couple of things?
Sure.
All right, Mike, would you read H in mine?
Okay. H.
Mine's called Laura's.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we have a few minutes left, so just to use it if we want to, does everybody want to just go around and say out loud whose plays you think you're in? And then we'll see. Okay, Michael Durkin, whose plays do you think you're in?
I'm in Laura's play.
I am in Richard's play. Rich, whose play do you think you're in?
I think I'm in Beth's play and Lisa's play.
Lisa, who do you think you're in?
I'm in Heather's play.
Kat.
I think I'm in Heather's play. And Laura's play.
Arlene?
My Cat is in my play.
Okay. I'm in Heather's play. I'm in Laura's play. I'm in Beth's play.
Arlene.
Arlene's play.
And I am in Laura's play, Lisa, Kat, and Rich's play. I'm in 4. Do you want to move me around, put somebody else in one of those? I mean, I'd love to read all 4, but
Lisa, do you want to? I can have Lisa read Esther if we need something more for Lisa to do. Just going back and forth.
How about Heather?
I don't think I'm reading tonight so far. Which is
Oh, Heather, you want to read? You could totally read Esther.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, great.
Don't put me in anything because I'm running to the bathroom.
Okay. I'm now in Laura's, Lisa's, and Rich's.
Okay. Heather, who are you in?
I'm in Cats. I'm Esther.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, wait a second. No. Didn't I just take you out and put Heather in?
That was Heather.
That's what I said.
Yeah. Oh, that was you. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Are we good, or is anybody confused? Are there any playwrights who think your actors don't know that they're in your play? All right. Excellent. Well, we have 2 minutes remaining. The first time we ever did this practice, I think it took us 2.5 days to get this done. Why don't we set the reading order right now as well, so we can get a jump on that as well. Heather, will you read first?
Heather's play.
My play?
Right.
Sure.
Okay, so Heather will go first. Lisa, will you go second? Kat, will you go third?
Yes.
We'll have Laura go 4th. Arlene go 5th. And Rich go 6th. So it's Heather, Lisa, Kat, Laura, Arlene, Rich.
And playwrights, once again, they read their stage directions if they want to. They give it an opening, like, and here's the grand beginning of the new play. And there's one other thing that they should do. End it?
No, say our prompt.
Yes.
Yeah, start off by reminding the audience of your suggestion.
That's it.
Say something to kick it off, like, and now the world debut of The Minotaur. Then read, and turn your camera off. Playwright, turn your camera off. And as an actor, if you're not in the show yet, if you haven't entered, turn your camera off. So it's like exiting and entering the stage. All right, we have 15 seconds left and we're gonna come back.
Arlene, you're 5th. Is that right?
That's what I have.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll read the order again. The order is Heather, Lisa, Kat, Laura, Arlene, Rich.
It's Laura's play.
All right, is everybody ready? And we are back. Hello, everybody. We're back. We're back. We're back. All right. Mr. Durkin, are you ready to take it away? All right, Michael is having some issues. Can everybody else hear me? And everybody on screen, can you all hear me all right? All right, then I am going to take it away then. And Michael Durkin, if you get your sound back, just start talking. So here we go. Welcome back, everybody. I'm trusting that you're out there, which is what the theater community has been doing since the middle of March, as we are posting our videos and Zooming our reading, YouTubing our improvs. And you have been there for us. If you would like to go further by making a contribution to Synergy Theater or Freestyle Repertory Theater, thank you very, very much. Your tax-deductible donations will go a long way, and I am going to put our website into the chat for you. So give me one moment, please, as I type that up. It's freestylrep.org, and it's synergytheater.com. Anything that you are able to offer us at this time would go a great way, and we would be very, very grateful for it. All right. And thank you for participating tonight and being a part of this show, for taking a creative risk, and also for contributing to the plays we are about to hear read for the very first time. Let's review the suggestions that we sent to all of the playwrights before we get started. So these are not their individual suggestions. These are the suggestions that they all got, just so everybody remembers. And here they are. All right. All right. Yes, I'm padding for time, but I'm going to get there. Don't you worry. Okay. I'm sorry. All right. All right, I am so sorry. Here we go. The first suggestion was a line of dialogue, and that was a character utters the word erosion. Erosion. That was our first suggestion. Then the next suggestion was a stage direction. An ostrich appears. An ostrich appears. Then the third suggestion was the scent of burnt marshmallows permeates the air. And then the final suggestion was a line of dialogue, oh, this popcorn is salty. So you'll forgive us for taking care of some business before we start with the readings, but it seems that Michael Durkin is having some trouble with his audio. And was Michael Durkin going to read a scene, which let's recast that. Can the playwright who cast Michael Durkin in their play come on and say who you are?
Yeah, it was me.
Okay.
So, Rich, would you be H in my play?
Do we have
Hey,
Rich
Ken.
with us?
Wait a second, Ken, you're not reading anything yet, are you? Or are you?
I'm reading in Rich's play.
All right, Rich, why don't you read H in my play? Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I'm going to need a moment to pull it up, okay?
All
Okay.
right. Fourth.
Okay, so, and that was the only one that Mike was going to read?
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
I'm back and I'm strong.
Oh,
Okay.
he's back and he's strong.
Great.
Michael Durkin is back and strong. Very, very good. All right. In that case, let's get started. Everybody, please clear the screen with the exception of Heather Adams. Heather is going to be our first playwright tonight. So, Heather, can you please remind the audience of your individual suggestion and then take it away. My friend, the world debut of Heather Adams' play.
Thank you. So my suggestion, I asked for a musical instrument and I got a trumpet. So this play is called, I've just decided Life is Like a Trumpet. And all you need to know is there's two high school girls sitting in the high school music room and they're chatting. Let's go.
Life is like a trumpet, don't you think?
Sure.
Really? You sound like you've thought about this before.
No, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you tend to have some long explanation for why certain extremely random thoughts make perfect sense. And at this point, I'm just going to take your word for it. What?
Are you not interested in why life's like a trumpet?
I don't know. Should I be?
I think it's interesting.
All right, I suppose life would be like a trumpet because it's loud and shiny and likes to make a big deal out of things when really it's just under the control of these three little pegs that somebody pushes up and down while they blow hot air. What?
That's not what I was thinking.
Well, it's true.
Are you okay?
Sure.
I don't believe you.
Fine.
You'd like to know why I don't believe you?
Sure.
Because I was thinking life is like a trumpet because it's small and relatively unassuming and even relatively uncomplicated compared to something with many strings or keys or sliding mechanisms. But it manages to astound people into thinking that it's the most fantastic and memorable instrument out there. Also, I saw some guy pull a trumpet out in the park one time and start playing for no other reason than just to have a good time. Dependable.
What does that have to do with me?
Metaphor was really depressing.
It's just realistic.
Mine unrealistic?
I don't know.
You want to talk about it?
No.
What do you think about violas?
How dare you? Erosion, erode away all my progress and growth, why don't you?
It was just a question about violas.
It was a question about Violet.
Well, yeah, duh. But wouldn't it be easier to talk about it in metaphors about musical instruments?
No.
Why not?
Because it's not easy to talk about, no matter how many metaphors you try to hide it with. The truth is that my girlfriend was an asshole and I had no idea until 4 months into the relationship.
Could have been worse.
How?
Could have been 5 months.
You're no help.
I'm trying. Come on. Just work with me. What do you need?
I need my girlfriend back.
No, you don't. Your ex-girlfriend emotionally manipulated you into thinking you needed her. And then she made up stuff about you cheating and threw you into the nearest dumpster. What you need is some good old-fashioned self-respect.
I used to have that.
I remember. It was great. I remember in 6th grade when Rick the Dick tried to ask you out and you laughed in his face.
Yeah, it helped that I was a lesbian.
Sure, but still, you didn't know that yet.
Rick was a dick, though, from the very beginning.
To the point where everybody gave him a nickname about it.
Exactly.
It was hot, though.
I'll take your word for it.
Violet wasn't really any better in the end.
But in the beginning, she was good. She was so good.
Oh, she was nice.
She was also good in other ways.
An ostrich appears. It's 3 in a costume.
Hey, girls, what are you doing in here?
Mom?
Yeah, hi.
She takes off the ostrich head.
I asked you not to volunteer to be the school mascot anymore. It's ridiculous.
But this way I get to keep an eye on you during the games.
I don't even play in the games. I just study in the library after school.
Except for right now when I find you two alone in the dark music room. Are you doing marijuana? This is why I spy on you through these beady little ostrich eyes. You can't hide anything from me. Where's the stash?
I promise there's no weed, Mrs. Kolowski. We're just chatting.
Everything okay?
Did you know that life is like a trumpet?
All right. See you girls later. I really should get back on the field.
Bye, Mom.
So you do know your power.
What? The irrational power of my metaphors that consistently makes people want to leave the room?
Yeah.
Of course. I discovered that very quickly. It's how I gauge who my real friends are. I see who sticks around.
Well, that didn't work out so great. You got stuck with me.
Once more, with feelings of your true worth as a fantastic human being.
Wow, that worked out great for you. You got stuck with the exciting mess that is me.
That's more like it.
The scent of burnt marshmallows permeates the air.
Who's making s'mores?
My mom suggested the ostriches start doing that as a consolation prize when they lose the game.
I feel a little bad about it, but I'm really glad to hear they lost. Want to get some s'mores?
Only if you tell me why life is like a trumpet.
I thought we did this already.
My hope is that you would have changed throughout the course of this conversation.
And if I give you a more optimistic metaphor, you'll let me go get a s'more?
Yes, in which case we'll have to hang out with really smelly sport people and my mom in an ostrich suit. So you know what? Feel free to stay depressed as long as you want. We can just stay in here. Thinking about a metaphor?
I'm thinking about how much I really want a s'more.
Fair. I'll tell you what, give me a metaphor and I'll sneak through the crowd, roast you a marshmallow, and bring it back here.
You're really the best.
I know.
All right. Life is like a stupid trumpet because it's... Life is like a trumpet because on one side, there is this small little space where you get to exist and try to make an influence on the people around you. And it is really hard to keep up the airflow that it takes to make your sound. But on the other side, if you do manage to get a breath out, it is so much larger and the sound is remarkable. Even if other people sometimes plug their ears because you're playing real close to their face, they actually really appreciate what you try to do. I really do appreciate that you're always there for me, you know.
Oh, you know me. Always just blowing hot air in your direction.
Shut up, you're awesome.
I know. You too.
Thanks, bud.
End of play.
Very nice, very nice, very nice,
awesome.
very nice. Yeah. Our second play from one of the actresses who was just on stage there, Lisa Gay Thompson. You are. It's time for us to hear your play. All right. Have a good time.
This play is named A Very Freud Morning. It takes place at the kitchen table over breakfast. And my suggestions were rain and comfort food. So here's the world premiere of A Very Freud Morning.
Dark, rain, damp,
Huh?
brown, despair, cry.
Where is this going?
I'm chasing a dream.
Can you do it with a whisper?
Dark, rain, damp, a cry in the night.
Oh, jeez.
It was a loud dream. It won't respond to whispering.
Tell it to me then.
We lived in a basement. We woke up in the morning and there was water up to my waist. I told you not to turn on the pump until I'd had my morning swim. You were thanking me for being so adaptable when I reached out, grabbed a pipe from the damp, dank wall, yanked it from its hold, and smacked you over the head. Then I swam my laps, but I had to push your floating body out of the way on each turn. I was smiling so much I was getting water in my mouth.
Jeez, Naya, that's brutal.
I woke up smiling.
You want to hear my dream?
Sure.
We lived on top of a mountain in a cave overlooking the ocean. I woke up early to check out the morning erosion, I said. I walked out of the cave, found a big rock, rolled it in front of the entrance and closed it. Then I sang, "Happy days are here again," and I skipped down the path.
Oh,
I woke up humming.
I had two dreams.
Oh, yeah.
You asked me for a lick of my strawberry cheesecake ice cream cone. I looked at your self-satisfied little face and I smashed the whole ice cream cone right into your nose. Then I licked the ice cream, but it tasted weird.
Well, I also had two dreams. I was on stage alone. The house lights were up. The stage direction was an ostrich appears. I waited, but it didn't come. You came out pretending to be an ostrich. I stopped the production and pointed at you and said, "You've done it again. Your grandstanding ruined my play." And the audience stood up and booed you, throwing tomatoes and Gatorade. I took a bow and they called bravo.
Ouch.
Hey, before that first dream, you said cry in despair, but in your dream, you were happy after knocking me out and I was knocked out. So who was crying and despairing?
Oh yeah, yes, I remember now. I I was crying from despair so much that the water was getting in my mouth, not smiling. And I gave you mouth-to-mouth resuscitation and brought you back to life. Oh, yeah. And the pipe fell on your head. I didn't hit you with it after all.
I'm remembering something too. Remember the cave? It wasn't really a cave. It was a penthouse apartment. And when I went outside in the morning while you were sleeping, I didn't say erosion. I said art fusion. You had painted a gorgeous poem painting that was going up at a gallery, and I wanted to surprise you with marshmallow croissants and cappuccinos. So I closed the door to our apartment and went down to the cafe on the first floor.
Oh. In my other dream, you gave me a lick of your ice cream cone. You were sweet to do that because it was your favorite flavor.
I recall now, I dreamt I wrote a play for you. A vehicle that made you a star, as you deserve to be, my darling.
I sure love you, honey.
Me too. You want some toast with your coffee? Is the temperature okay, my queen? This popcorn is salty.
The coffee's perfect, my love. Pass the popcorn.
End of play.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Wonderful job. All right. Kat Coppett, please come and take the screen. My friends, our next play comes to you from my personal, very good friend, Kat Coppett.
Hello, Ken. Well, my suggestions, I asked for an emotion and an object, and I got sad table. It was also informed by other objects and emotions like orange and jealousy. And Laura will be playing Sarah, and Heather will be playing Esther, who enters at some point as we go. All right, so here we go. Okay, hang on. All righty, Roo. Sarah sits alone at a square wooden table in a small studio apartment. In the middle of the table, there is a bowl of fruit. She sits staring at it. A clock ticks loudly over the sink in the kitchen. A small Christmas tree sits on an end table by the fold-out sofa.
Well,
She looks around the apartment, restless. She stands up and fixes a bit of decoration on the little tree, peers out the window, straightens the one stocking hanging off the fake mantle, wanders aimlessly for a bit, and sits back down at the table, staring at the bowl.
It's nearly midnight. Not a creature is stirring, except me. Things are all set the way you like them.
She drums her fingers on the table, reaches for an orange, and then puts it back.
I promise, just exactly like you like them. Exactly like you specified. The tree, the bowl, dishes done.
No!
Oh, there you are.
No, it is not.
Not what?
Sarah stands looking around for Esther, speaking to the air.
Erosion!
I don't understand. Show yourself, Esther. What's wrong? I did everything just how you like it, just like last year.
No, you didn't. Erosion!
I don't understand.
You have eroded. Look, just look at your hands, your face, your hair.
Oh, well, yes, I guess there's been a bit of a year, but Esther, you can't. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. I just kept things the same as I could. Please come join me. It's Christmas.
After a beat, Esther slowly materializes. Sarah goes to hug her, but they both know as they approach that they can't really touch. They hold their hands up to each other in greeting. Esther still a little standoffish. Sarah so happy to see her sister.
Oh, Esther, it is so good to see you. How have you been?
How have I been? I've been in limbo. How do you think I've been? I've been doing nothing, just waiting for my one moment a year when I get to revisit my earthly existence the way life used to be. And now you've gone and ruined it by eroding things.
As Esther speaks, an ostrich slowly materializes beside her. As Esther finishes, Sarah notices.
What? Oh, right. And now I have an ostrich.
You have an ostrich? Why?
I'm not totally sure. It's symbolic. Something about if we don't move on quickly enough, they start to give us hints about what we have to work on to be able to move on. Murray, remember Murray? They gave him a giant banana and it turned out to be something about getting a better sense of humor. Yeah, obscure. Never mind.
The smell of burnt marshmallows permeates the air.
Oh no.
Oh no.
The
sweet potatoes.
They run to the oven and Sarah pulls out a sweet potato casserole with burnt marshmallow topping. Esther lets out an anguished cry.
Oh no! It's ruined!
I'm so sorry. It's just that you were late and then you arrived so angry. And the ostrich.
Ostrich is happily eating the burnt casserole.
It's not fair! It's not fair! All I asked is for things to be the way they were. Just for one day, a year. And I want to have things be the way they were when we were young and they were perfect. But no, you have to burn the marshmallows and keep getting older. And I have to be saddled with a fucking flightless bird. And it just keeps getting more, not the same.
There's a long pause during which Sarah and Esther sit slumped at the table, and the ostrich keeps eating the casserole. Esther and Sarah both look at the bowl of fruit.
Esther, you remember the year that Papa brought us an orange home, right?
Of course.
And it was the most glorious thing we had ever tasted.
Yes.
And after we ate it, we strung up strands of popcorn on the tree. And when we snuck kernels of it, we said, oh, this popcorn is so salty.
I remember. That's why I want everything just so in here.
But it can never be like that. It's already all different. And it will just keep eroding. To think differently would just be
burying our heads in the sand.
They look at the ostrich. They take each other's hands. After a long moment,
I think this is my last Christmas with you, sis.
We'll have to muddle through somehow.
Love you.
Esther grabs her ostrich and fades away, waving.
Love you.
Sarah sits at the table by herself. Then she reaches for an orange and slowly starts peeling it as the lights fade.
That was wonderful.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Did we have ostrich eating sound effects going on?
That was my dog having a nightmare.
That was really your dog
Right
barking?
on cue. My dog was having a nightmare right on cue.
Oh my God, it sounded like, I thought Rich Perez was being an ostrich for us or something.
Once again, one of our actresses from the last play is now we're going to read her play. Laura Livingston, you're up next.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Why don't you take us away and tell us what's going on?
Laura, before we go away, can you just remind us who's reading which numbers?
All right. Beth is number 1. And I will tell you that number 1 is Mother Rachel, an Episcopal priest. And Kat is number 2, Janet, who is one of the parishioners, like a senior warden or somebody. Okay. And Henry, H is Henry. He's the custodian. And 1 and 2 are on stage as this opens. I'll go away.
Okay.
And your suggestions?
My suggestions, thank you. My suggestions were throat clearing and booyah. Did I just leave this place?
We hear you.
Okay, I just lost everybody's picture. But if you can, oh, there you are. Okay. So booyah and throat clearing were the suggestions. The play is set in the vestry room of a church near Christmas time.
And then you blow out the candles and we end the Zoom meeting. Booyah!
So I think it's going to be a very meaningful Christmas Eve service.
We got this, Mother Rachel. Booyah! Who needs music? Choir? Lots of people?
Of course.
What?
It used to be our biggest night. People who never stepped inside a church on Christmas Eve, they...
This is the world. We have 200 people registered.
Oh, I just keep thinking of Silent Night.
Well, like we said, they can't sing it together on Zoom. We'll play the Mannheim Steamroller version. Booyah!
No, what I mean, erosion.
Excuse me?
I'm letting this social isolation erode the service. When the priest of some church in Germany couldn't, well, the organ wasn't working for Christmas Eve, and people were coming to hear the organ, and their spiritual, well, they were going to have that special Christmas whatever. Well, that priest wrote Silent Night and accompanied himself on the guitar at midnight in the silent, cold, still of a beautiful, meaningful moment that came out of crisis.
Booyah.
Yes, booyah indeed. I'm not doing that. I'm not taking a soul-crushing crisis and transforming it into something that will give people what they need, that moment of transcending beauty.
Oh, well, that's a lot to ask of yourself.
It's why I'm a priest.
An ostrich appears, coming into the vestry room, peeking over the shoulder of the priest who doesn't see it.
Holy crap.
Janet.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mother Rachel. There's an ostrich.
Jesus. Bless us all. Janet, this was a part of your Zoom Christmas Eve plan.
I have never seen this ostrich before in my life.
Excuse me, ladies. Here, Betty.
6 feet apart, please.
Oh yeah, sure. I just got to get my ostrich.
He approaches the ostrich as Janet and Mother Rachel shift to keep 6 feet apart, 6 feet between.
Can ostriches carry the coronavirus?
I don't think so.
There you go.
Booyah!
Good girl, Betty. Oh, you're a good bird. Yes, I think you are.
He exits with the ostrich.
What was that?
The aroma of marshmallows, burnt marshmallows, permeates the air.
Why did Henry have an I have so many questions. Why has life become so hard? What is my role? How can I bring comfort to my flock? Do you smell that? Really, that's not a rhetorical question. Do you smell that?
It's marshmallows.
Roasted marshmallows.
Reminds me of when I was a Girl Scout.
Yeah.
I thought you'd like these. I just put these down here. Socially distant.
Wait, Henry. First, thanks for the marshmallows.
They're really good. Have one, Mother Rachel. I'll move from the plate, away from the plate.
Oh, yes. Remind me of when I was trying to get my cooking merit badge. Late one quiet night out in the country with the scout troop. I gazed at the campfire for so long, I let the marshmallows burn. Turns out that's the best way to have them.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, yes, I'm seeing it now. I've been so...
Oh, this popcorn is salty.
And stale. It's left over from, wow, I guess bingo night last March. I won, booyah!
I'm sort of having a breakthrough moment here.
I gotta toss this popcorn. Should Should have cleaned it up.
A couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Wait, Henry, don't leave. Why did you have an ostrich?
Well, I think it's going to be a bang-up service. Booyah!
I wonder.
End of play.
All right. Arlene Hutton, don't go anywhere, but everybody else go somewhere else because the screen is Arlene's and it's time for your play.
My suggestion was the name you gave your grandmother. Mine was Mama in the South. Anyway, the suggestion given to me was Nana, and the title of my play is Nana is an Ostrich. Rich Perez is playing Rich, and Kat Coppett is playing Kat, and they are on FaceTime or Zoom. Rich has a red pencil in his hand, and he keeps looking down, working.
Kat, I'm grading papers.
This is important.
It's the end of the semester. I've got to grade these. I got to get these grades in.
What you've got to do is go visit Nana.
After the semester ends.
You have to go tomorrow.
I can't.
You have to.
You go visit.
I already did. I visit Nana every week. You know, this kind of stuff always falls on the women in the family. You men get away with everything.
Catherine, come on.
The women in the kitchen, the men have careers.
I've got to finish grading these essays, okay?
You think all those male writers through history would have written that classic literature you love so much if they'd had to do the washing and ironing and cooking and having babies?
Not tonight, Kat. We can't talk feminist shit. We can talk feminist shit next week if you want to.
Feminist shit?
I love you, sis, but sometimes... What? Erosion?
What?
One of the papers. Erosion? What does that even mean?
Eros? It's sexual.
Someone's trying to use a big word to get points.
Erosion isn't a big word. Spell check error probably meant erection.
Crack me up.
So tomorrow, Nana's. She says you haven't been to see her in months.
Remind Nana that there's a pandemic.
She's lonely.
She's got a housekeeper, a gardener, a cook. She's not in a nursing home. She's got a staff to keep her company. These grades are due.
When?
They're due. It's the end of the semester.
When are they due?
Friday.
It's Monday.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
You have to go see her.
What? And wave at her from the driveway? Nobody should go see Nana. I mean, she's 98 years old.
She wants you to play cards with her.
It's stupid. You go.
I don't play well enough.
Please, come on. We'll practice.
For God's sake, go see Nana tomorrow.
I'm going to hang up now.
Go see Nana. Go see Nana.
Is Nana dying?
She's 98. Of course she's dying.
Huh. I mean, for real. What's that ostrich quote? What? If I was a painter and was to paint the American eagle, how should I do it? I should want to draw it like a bat for its short-sightedness, like a magpie for its honesty, like a peacock for its vanity, like an ostrich for putting its head in the mud and thinking nobody sees it.
What are you talking about?
One of my students plagiarizing. Doesn't think I know my Dickens. It's from Martin Chuzzlewit. I gotta go.
Nana!
I have to deal with this plagiarism issue. I'm gonna have to turn him in. Oh my God. I can't deal with this right now. Kat, okay, truth. Here's what's going on. I have to turn my grades in tomorrow because I'm sick. I have a fever, a cough. I can barely sit up. I've got to turn these grades in online before I get any sicker. It's not fair to the students. They've worked really hard. Kat, you still there? Are you frozen?
I smell burnt marshmallows. The twins are using the gas burners to make s'mores again.
I can't smell anything anymore.
I'm sorry you're sick.
Yeah.
Okay, truth.
Yeah.
Nana's changing her will. End of the year, as soon as her lawyer returns from Boca.
What?
She's cutting you out.
What are you talking about?
She says you haven't visited her in months.
I was there in August. I isolated for 2 weeks so I could stay with her for the whole month.
You haven't been back since.
I've been in classes.
Remotely.
Not all. Some are in person. That's how I got sick. I thought I'd made it to the end of the semester.
The lawyer's coming back after Christmas. She's going to cut you out if you don't go visit her.
Man, she's a mean old...
She is.
She's always been a mean old...
She's had a hard life.
In a mansion with a staff.
The philandering husband who left her.
Who left her with a fortune. And the husband after that who died.
I wish she would die. She's so mean to me. She says the most awful things about how I'm raising the twins.
She's always been an ostrich with her head in the sand.
Well, there's nothing to be done. I'll tell her, but she'll say you're making it up.
What do you mean she says awful things to you?
She always has. I've never been good enough, pretty enough, smart enough. She's always liked you best. Her favorite grandchild, the smart one with the PhD, the Princeton grad. I really had to go check on the twins. Look, I really have to go check on the twins. I don't want them to start a fire with the marshmallows.
I'll go see Nana.
You will?
Tomorrow.
Really?
Yes.
But you're sick.
Yes.
Oh.
I'll hug Nana and I'll kiss her and we'll play cards together and I'll tell her my asthma is making me cough. And if we're lucky, she'll be gone before her lawyers get back to town.
Wow. Oh. This popcorn is salty. Derek, look at how much salt you put on the popcorn. I bet it goes well with the s'mores. We'll have to make that for Uncle Rich when he can come visit us. Thanks, I gotta go.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
End of play.
Whoa. I like that.
All right. Michael Durkin, are you here to bring us into our
I am here. I am. I'm a little scared of Arlene, but I am here. We have one more reading. Rich, we're going to do your reading. But before we do Rich's reading, I just want to tell everybody a couple of things out there in the audience. That after the final reading, we'll say goodnight to you, but we are going to stick around for a while and we're going to chat with each other, and we certainly open it up to anyone out there who'd like to chat with us as well about what we've been doing here tonight or in general. And also, listen, if you've got some stuff that you've written tonight and would like to read it at that time, that would also be, we'd love to hear stuff that you've written tonight and would like to read. I have a little technical problem here, so I don't know if we talked about the Facebook page. Have we talked about that?
No, we haven't. Take it away.
Well, then we have a Facebook page. It's called, and I'm going to put it in the chat right now. It's called Right Away After Words, and we encourage everybody to.
I put it there, Mike. You don't have to do that.
Oh, good. All right then. We encourage you also, if you'd like to join the group, just go online, go to Facebook, go to Right Away Afterwards, and Laura will let you in. She's good about that. And then you can leave some of that writing there as well. So a couple of different ways to kind of, once you write something, you like to get it out there. So Rich, listen. You got a play that you wrote. Is it as sinister as Arlene's, or not quite so much?
Yeah, that's a tough act to follow. It is not
scary. She's scary,
but that's her brilliance. So, okay. So, are you all ready?
Yeah.
Ken is reading H. Beth is reading S. The stage directions are in bold, and I'll read those. And it starts, it's a New York apartment.
What was
S
the
enters
suggestion?
followed by H.
Oh, hey, yeah, Laura. Rich, tell us your suggestions.
Oh, yes, thank you. My suggestion was I asked for something someone might say on a first date, and I first saw, ooh, nice pants. Here we go.
All right. Are you going to go off screen, Rich?
I will indeed. Okay, a New York apartment. S enters followed by H.
Come in.
Thank you.
Ooh, nice pants.
She eyes him up and down.
My goodness, you're even better looking in person.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
He hands her a gift.
Thank you. Well, aren't you going to compliment me?
Oh, of course. Eventually. Didn't want to make it seem like I was merely saying something nice because you did. The evening is young.
Okay. Would you like something to drink?
What do you have?
Do you like bourbon?
As a matter of fact, I do.
I think I remember that from your profile. Old Fitzgerald, okay?
Are you serious? That stuff costs around $200 a bottle.
Christmas present to myself.
You treat yourself well.
Well, someone has to. Yes?
Yes, please.
I was surprised that someone like you would be alone on Christmas Day.
What do you mean, someone like me?
Oh, come on. You're a successful entrepreneur, attractive, single, and something much harder to find at our age. You're straight.
Wow. This is even better than I imagined.
So you didn't answer my question.
Well, couldn't the same be said about you? You certainly have a lot going for you, and yet here we both are, like mountains of winter snow, eroding before our eyes.
Erosion. Speak for yourself. I'm exactly where I want to be. Christmas is like any other day of the year for me, and you are just another date.
Sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. Never mind. Maybe this wasn't such a good idea. I'm sorry, maybe I should go.
Not before I get my compliment, you don't.
What?
You were supposed to compliment me. Eventually, you said. The night is young, remember?
Ah, yes.
Well?
You're unique.
Unique? In what way?
I can have some more of that bourbon?
Help yourself. I'll be right back.
He pours the drink, looks around the room nervously, and after a moment, an ostrich appears. It is her in a flamboyant ostrich costume.
Wow!
So, where were we? Yes, unique. Baby, you don't know the half of it.
She seductively moves toward him.
You are going to be so happy you swiped right.
The scent of burnt marshmallows permeates the air.
What's that smell?
Ooh, I hope you're hungry.
She crosses to the kitchen.
You know what? I think I'd better be going. I just remembered I have an early appointment.
You, if you really wanted to leave, you'd be gone already. Come on, relax. Come on. Relax. It's Christmas.
She suddenly appears with a flaming dish and sets it on the table as she blows it out.
His old family favorite. It's to die for. Please have a seat. Oh, and shoot, forgot one more thing. I'll be right back.
She exits, re-enters with a big bowl.
Oh, this popcorn is salty. I love it. Well, dig in. Merry Christmas. This is the way we do it in Kansas.
To be continued.
All right. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of our readings tonight. And On behalf of Ken and Synergy and myself and Freestyle, we just want to, and all of us here, we're just really happy to be with you and very happy that you're here with us. And we're happy that we can entertain and do our job as actors and writers for as long as or as long as we can, until the theaters reopen, the schools welcome us back, and we can go back to what we do and what we love to do. And we thank you once again for stopping by and joining us for our Right Away. If you had a good time, certainly we would appreciate any sort of support you can get. Either one of our companies, both of our companies, we kind of share it between Synergy and Freestyle. And if you thought it was worth a $10 ticket, go online there and make that contribution to Freestyle or to Synergy, a couple of bucks. Listen, I think it's our playwrights are back. Ken.
Yeah, let's just take a minute to mention that we're doing this again in January. So hopefully everybody will come back, and we're going to have a bunch of different writers for you. Laura Balfi, who is out there with us today, is going to come back and write. Lisa Thompson, you're coming back and you're writing again. Right. Jeff Tarson is going to make a reprisal and come back with us. And Mike Durkin, you're not going to be the host, are you?
We'll be writing next time. And next time we have, straight from the sound stages of What We Do in the Shadows, a 2-time Emmy nominated writer, a good friend of ours, Chris Marshall, is going to be with us. So it's going to be real good fun to have everybody back together again and having a good time writing. And we certainly welcome you all to come back on January 18th, 2021. Kiss 2020 goodbye. And
all
come
right.
back
Why
with
don't we
us.
take a big bow for the audience on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
There we go.
And we are done. My friends out there, if you want to join us for our talk back, come on and bring your cameras on, put your microphones on, and let's kick back and talk a little bit. Thank you all so much for being here. And we are just going to offer everybody an opportunity to say hi to our writers. If you have any questions about our process, or about their process, I should say, or if you want to say anything about the jam, it is an open forum. So is there, in fact, a question or two that anybody has, or a comment that anybody would like to make in order to kick off our talk back? And
I will say, somebody. I don't want to jump in there unless there's.
No, go ahead, please.
Somebody got something to say. We were talking about acting and improvisation, and what elements of improvisation might be valuable to the craft of acting as well as the writing. And I wonder if anybody had any thoughts about that. Yeah, Kat.
I will say that I started out as an actor, as a sort of serious classical stage actor. And that's how I came to improv. I still don't actually really think of myself as funny, but I flunked out of acting conservatory ultimately after a lot of years in conservatory because the feedback that I was getting from my acting teachers was they kept saying things like, don't think, or you're too smart to be an actor. I had an acting teacher once tell me in my conservatory program, which is a really stupid thing to say. But what they meant to be saying was, don't judge yourself too much. Don't, be present, respond rather than being hyper intellectual, right? Don't be so judgmental inside your own head. Don't over intellectualize. Right? Trust your impulses. And improvisers were able to teach me in a positive way what to do and how to exercise my spontaneity and my ability to be present and respond in the moment in a way that my acting teachers were not at the time. I think it's different now. I think the worlds are more integrated. But at the time, they were very separate worlds, and my very serious acting teachers couldn't teach what they wanted me to do. They could just wag their finger at me.
Great performance. Your acting style really suits the camera. It was really nice to see.
Thanks.
Thank you. Arlene?
I wouldn't be a playwright if I hadn't been an improviser first, and I wouldn't have been an improviser if I hadn't gone to see all of you do freestyle repertory back in the day. And I took class with Laura and Mike, and it changed my life. I owe so much to you guys, and so to get the opportunity to actually play, in the room with you all is just a thrill. You were such heroes to me back in the 90s when I was going like every week to see you all do improv, and Rich and Ken and Kat, and you're such stars to me that I'm honored to be here with you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that back when we started, most of us here, people who did improv came to it from being actors or being in theater, and I know that Mike and Ken and I have talked a lot about how improv is acting, directing, and playwriting spontaneously all at the same time. And we've been thinking, if I started a theater school, everyone would do improv first and then specialize, maybe even discover which part they were going to specialize in. Because I think most people come to theater as an actor because that's what you see. If you don't know anything about theater, you think it's all the actor, and that's what attracts you. And then a lot of people discover another part of it that they really like. And Ken has had this idea that I'm really intrigued with now. At first I was like, oh yeah, that's nice. But now I'm getting more and more intrigued that there are many improvisers now who have never done any theater. And we're going to be offering an acting class online for improvisers, with the idea that so many people brought their acting training to improv and learned to loosen up and use it more spontaneously. And now it's going to be interesting to see how people who've been trained to be spontaneous on stage might bring that to the very difficult thing that I think in acting, which is rehearse something, understand it thoroughly, and then do it like you've never done it before.
Yeah. I think improvisation is so crucial to acting. I did come from an acting background. I don't consider myself an improviser, really. But I remember, I think maybe 1 or 2 years ago now, I was in a play and we were at like the final dress rehearsal or something. Like we were late into the process and I was doing a scene with somebody. And during a monologue of mine, the person I was monologuing to, reacted differently to something I said, which then made me say the next part of the monologue in a way I never had before. And in the moment I tried not to think about it, but I was fascinated. I was like, wow, that was really cool. And that was so honest and real. And we never would have found that if we were stuck to certain ways that we performed it before. And I gained a whole new respect for improv because I realized that the best acting is just improvising with a script, but you're still, you should still be improvising using all the spontaneity of the emotions and the, gestures and movements and things like that.
Just to piggyback on what Laura was saying there, this idea of people having come to improv from avenues other than acting, other than theater, is so dramatic that I actually have long Facebook debates and conversations with people who do not consider improvisation theater, and not in a diminutive way, not that it's lesser than theater, but simply that it is something other than theater. And the fact that I suggest that all improvisation is theater is somehow hubris on my part, because I'm discounting what they know improv to really be. So this concept that there's improv and there's theater and never the twain shall meet is really pronounced out in the larger improv community.
Yeah. See, I totally get what you're saying. And I think that having improv classes for acting classes for improvisers is great, but I don't think it's true that most improvisers used to come from the theater. In fact, what I think is true is that there used to be much more of a division between legitimate theater and improv, and that your world, the world of freestyle repertory theater, was very unique, where that came together, where real professional theater artists were improvising and trying to create theater, legitimate theater through improvisation. Because, Keith Johnstone actively eschews anything that has to do with professional theater, including professional actors, right? And certainly the Chicago schools, those guys weren't actors. Some of them went on to become actors, but they were pulling from, into philosophers, right? Intellectual students and activists, who were trying to, David Shepard certainly wasn't pulling from actors, and he wasn't an actor. Like, that's not what he wanted. So I think that, and the legitimate theater was not interested in the world of improv. They'd be like, ugh, improvisers. So I think most improvisers went into writing. So I think they were very separate worlds.
Well, that is so curious. If for those of you who might not be familiar with the name Keith Johnstone, he's a big improv guru. He wrote one of the Bibles of improv called Impro, and then what's the other one? Impro for Storytelling. And he's the fellow who created theater sports, which is the format that freestyle repertory theater started by doing. So we all kind of grew up in this Johnstonian model. But I think what you say is very brilliant, Cap, but it's so curious about Johnstone not embracing the theater, because he came to improvisation as a playwright and a director.
But always went on his own and was mostly using it in an applied way, really, right? He was using it with people to help them overcome things. I mean, he went off and started his own thing. Like, I mean, you're right, but
it's odd that he wouldn't have embraced the theatrical element of it, right?
He did embrace the theatrical element of it, but he didn't embrace professional performers who had backgrounds in other things, because he felt like that was getting in the way of what he wanted to create.
I've started directing, and Celia, do you have something to say? This is one of my students.
I have to say I'm confused, and here's what I'm confused about, is that way back when, 30 years ago, when I was studying acting, I was studying it with a guy named Arthur Mendoza, who learned from Stella Adler. And one of the things that we would do is he would have us improvise the moment before play started, or he would have us improvise a situation between those characters that would have been like, if the play was a love story of the two characters in their 30s, then he would have us improvise those two people meeting when they were in their teens or something. So I don't understand the conversation where it says of that there's that improvising and theater are not conjoined, because in my training they were.
Amen.
That's great training.
I mean,
got great training.
I can speak to it if you want a little bit. I mean, yes, and that's great. And improv for a long time. First of all, there's no one answer to this, right? There's a billion schools of acting, and different people do have, there's a million different techniques. In many traditional acting schools for a long time, and I don't think this is true anymore. I think a lot of acting schools use improvisation the way we're talking about it here, integrated now. But for a long time, there was a split between improvisation as a performance art, which is what we've been talking about. So you learn the art of writing, performing, and directing all at the same time to put improv as a finished product on a stage in front of an audience, versus improv as a process tool, where what you're doing as an actor is improvising for your own experience, not as a product. So as process, you could do it, but you couldn't do it as product, is probably the simple way to say it.
Well, I'm actually getting ready to go direct a play in Florida next month, live. in person with the actors wearing masks. And I'll be working the same way when I last directed, which is very influenced by several directors. The one I know the most is a woman named Sharon Gracie in Charleston, South Carolina, at Pure Theater, and and also a little bit from Katie Mitchell's book on directing. And the way we'll work is we will do a deep dive into script analysis. So we will really just study the scene, what all the objectives are and everything, and then put the script down. And the first time they step on the stage, they don't have a script in hand. So there's never that moment on stage holding on to a script. Never. The script, you don't walk onto stage with a script. So you read it, you read the scene, you do script analysis, you then read the scene, what I call nose to text. You read the word, put the script down, get on your feet, and improvise the scene. And then you come back, read, get up and improvise the scene. And you do that 5 or 6 times, and each time you're picking up more language from the scene. And with student actors in colleges, there's never that moment 3 weeks into rehearsal where suddenly they put the script down and now what do I do with my hands? Because from day one, they have had to be playing their intentions. And I've never had actors get off book faster. I've never seen young actors be more real and present on stage. And it's all about the integration of improv as part of the process. And I'm excited, first of all, I'm excited to get back in a theater, but I'm excited to get to work this way again, because the first time I explored it, I was, kind of finding my way into it. And now I know a little more. So
I have a question for Laura, just to maybe circle back to what we were talking about. I think Kat was very insightful when she mentioned that what you were doing with freestyle in the very early days, even believe it or not, before I was there, of bringing this enormous theater training and not only acting technique, but theater etiquette, things like directors give notes and improvisation is acting, directing, and playwriting. How aware were you that this was somewhat groundbreaking and that not a lot of people interpreted improv that way?
I think I was, and probably still am, pretty oblivious my entire career of like any sort of position or, like, am I breaking new ground? Or no, I knew we were doing new stuff, but I knew all of us improvisers were doing new stuff. And because we used to, theater sports is this thing, if you haven't ever seen it, where teams challenge each other to make up short form scenes on the spot. And then it's kind of this pretend competition where they get judged doing it. And so we would go to other cities and other countries. And so like the US team or the New York team and the Seattle team and the Brisbane team might be competing in London, and so I did know that in general, outside of New York, those weren't actors or theater people at all, because back then too, there was less regional theater in the US anyhow. Other countries had a lot, but we didn't. But I don't know that I thought about it other than that. I always, when people ask me, there was a time back in the 80s when people didn't know what improv was. And if you said you're doing improv, you'd have to explain what it was. And I would always say, it's like jazz, only it's theater. So there was never in my mind, like, well, is jazz music? I mean, people who say it's not music are kidding. They're just expressing their dislike of it, but they're kidding. Everybody knows it's music. So I don't know that I thought I was having a revolutionary idea, but I did know that it was kind of revolutionary to think of using it to work on playwriting and directing. My directing comes from improv. You can't. I mean, Kat said one time long ago that you would know that critics were beginning to understand improv if they ever mentioned the director. They never mentioned the director of our stuff, because they, how would you direct something that's going to happen differently every night? Or that you aren't in total control of, that you're not saying go over here when you say that, you know. Just so I think I did know. Thanks, Ken, for asking that, and thanks for listening to me ramble, everybody else.
Hillary, do you have a question?
Well, not really a question. I just wanted to jump in because I find it so like I happened upon this event 15 minutes before it started. Arlene had sent out, I'm part of a playwriting email list. I'm a playwright. And we're part of an emailing list, and she mentioned the event, and I was like, oh, that looks like fun. I'll jump in and see what it's about. And lo and behold, well, I'm an improviser. I've been doing improv for about 15 years. I teach improv to middle and high school students. I live in Rochester, New York, and I helped start an improv theater in Tucson, Arizona. I've been doing it for a long time, and got into playwriting later, after about 8 years ago. And so, wow, this is fantastic that I just like landed into this thing. And I love it. It was just what a fun experience tonight was. And I just I'm just like so glad that I had nothing going on tonight and spontaneously joined all of you guys. So thank you for doing it. But I wanted to just, concur with what Kat and Ken had said about improv, and like my experience with improv is that people, like 90% of the improvisers that I know do improv as an art form in itself. And then also I until I got laid off because of COVID, but was working at Nazareth College in their theater department, and improv is part of the curriculum for actors as a tool, but they would never call themselves improvisers. It's just a way of learning how to participate in theater, and it's a good tool and an important one. I'm so glad it's incorporated in so many ways, and I love like what Arlene does with directing. And I teach playwriting. I incorporate using improv as a way of writing. I don't know if other playwrights do it, but I find it an essential way of working out, scenes. I improv in my head, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I call it, in my head. Yeah. It's all about the rewrite.
Yeah.
A lot of I teach playwriting too, and a lot of my exercises come from theater sports games.
Yeah, exactly. Just wanted to add that, not really.
Well, welcome to the fold, Hillary.
Thank you.
I wanted to say that this Facebook group that we started is I encourage you to join it, because we did it because we last month we wanted to talk more. And, most of us hadn't had dinner and needed to do other things. And then I also want to see what people wrote during the first half when we're off, just being the tip of the iceberg. We want to know what happened in the rest of the iceberg. But I love people's thoughts and comments in these afterwards. And that's what the Facebook page is called, Afterwards. So I just wanted to jump in and say that, Hillary, because I loved hearing what you were saying.
I already did. I already requested to join the groups.
Awesome. Yvonne?
Yeah, I thought, Laura, that you were sort of shortchanged your innovation, because you not only created formats and, this project came out of your desire to see what happened when other people did projects too. That's how we got Ken started on this earth-shattering thing, and also all of the other members who created formats that were so innovative. So if you weren't the innovator, you certainly encouraged innovation.
Oh, no question. Yeah. Laura Livingston transformed the face of improvisation in the United States in a way that very few people realize.
That is absolutely true.
Wow, thank you.
And Ken, I used your book and I taught my kids how to do this story arc, and we just, sorry, I can't remember the words now. We killed it in Boston when I brought my team up to compete in that bean.
Oh, thank you.
Bean pot. So anyway, I'm sure there are other people, teachers all over the country who are probably doing the same thing.
Thank you very, very much.
Pixar animators who now call it the Pixar Story Spine. Love
Yeah.
it.
I have a quick question for our visitors, if I may, unless how are we feeling? Do we have another minute, or are we ready to wrap this up? Well, maybe this will be the very last thing. And the very last thing is, do the 4 people who are not in the show tonight have any feedback for us in terms of the event, the writer's jam, the presentations, anything that we could take away from you and do better next time?
I thought it was cool. I think I've been registered, I think since October, maybe November, and I've really been looking forward to it. So when I was with my family today and we were shopping, I was like, guys, time, let's go, hurry up. I gotta go back.
That's very sweet.
All right.
Like, are you still in Ohio?
Huh?
Are you in Ohio still?
No, I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Hillary, last comment of the night.
I obviously came in with no expectations, and it was fabulous. I'm so glad that I came to this. I have written it, that how I got into playwriting was I started out with writing for 24-hour plays, and I've done a ton of those, and this like blew that away, because like
24 hours,
yeah, I know exactly, and then the activities that we were all doing as participants were super fun, and I loved it because as an improviser and writer, combining the two, that was great. So yeah, I have no complaints.
Wow, you make me feel so spoiled. I've been around these people so long. This is just what I expected. Also, I have an out there idea. Remember how I used to have sound improvisation? You could pull in sounds that would move. What if you had background improvisation? There's like this library of background, so that you could put people in the same space with the background, or I don't know, you have the background of an ostrich or a page or something. But if someone was willing to be the background improviser, so that they could just put up your backgrounds for you, or you would pick a background from the library, so
Yeah, well, not only that, but so many companies are performing improv online that the technical director position has evolved, and it's an off-screen improviser who's not only doing backgrounds, but doing sound effects and also camera angles, because there's lots of different third-party software that allows you to play around with how the audience sees what is being live streamed. So
you'll all look like YouTube influencers.
Yeah. All right, my friends, I'm going to give Michael Durkin and Laura Livingston one last opportunity for a final statement, and then we'll wrap it up.
My final statement is, everyone have wonderful holidays. God bless you all, and thanks for coming. And also, as always, word of mouth is the best way to get our audience built up. And we would just love to have more and more people join us. So Sylvia, Hillary, Yvonne, Teddy, thanks for being here. Writers, super.
Yeah, my last thing is writers, thank you for writing. Thank you for working with us. First act writers, thank you for coming and jumping in so quickly. And this is the longest night of the year, y'all. This is the least amount of light we have to deal with for the rest of the year. If you're a writer from here on.
Took a chunk out of it for you.
Yes, we did. All right, everybody. You are awesome. Thank you for being here. Good night.